Welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J-Knitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 51.
Woo!
Almost 52.
Yeah.
And I'd like to welcome you all to my home. I don't know if people have realized that this is my house. Or if you're new, and you haven't watched us before, you may or may not have realized that this is my home. Amy is very aware that it is my home because it is 10:30 at night and she just had to drive herself over here.
Yeah.
So it's not that far of a commute, but it's still not something that you're like, woohoo, I'm excited about doing this, right?
I'm a little bit excited because we have an on-air opening of a package that was sent to us. Just do not open until you are recording. This is what it says.
Fun. So you've been waiting.
Yes, I was gone for the weekend, so that helped.
Yeah, it didn't sit there and taunt you.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Could have been, it could have been that it would have taunted me. I picked too small of a scrap yarn.
Yeah. What was I going to say? No premeditated funny this week. Last week I kind of knew we were going to talk about Wayne's World. Or at least I was going to. No premeditated funny this week. It's just all... Well, I guess there was a little bit of premeditation. So, if you haven't heard, we're having a KAL with the Fat Squirrel Speaks in November and December. And it is... I had a lovely person contact me and say they could not find the crazy zombie squirrel pattern that we are doing for this KAL. And I was like, yeah, it's not a pattern per se, it's a name your own crazy.
Yep.
So whatever it is that is crazy for you, whether it be, knitting in Hunter Orange, or Hunter Orange is your bread and butter and knitting in gray would just be like, you're crazy, that's one way to be crazy. I'm going to cast on all the things. That's my crazy. Still think that it's crazy, by the way.
Yeah, I have been inundated with thread post comments about how monogamy is intriguing / curious, and how, I wonder how that's gonna go. So, here's your chance to be, me? Monogamy?
Yeah.
Sounds crazy, right?
Right. So crazy.
So that is the monogamy, and my extra added bit of crazy is that I'm pushing to finish 2 projects by the end of the month, and so hopefully by the start of the KAL I'll only have 4 things on the needles, which for me is kind of low.
Mm-hmm.
And so the extra added crazy is to try to get that to 0. So, I had that, I'm going to cast on 4 different fingering weight sweaters or whatever, and that's crazy, but it's not necessarily crazy for me, because I already had 2 on the needles, and casting on 2 more kind of sounds like, it is crazy, but it does sound in the realm of possibility, whereas actually getting to 0 projects I have never done. Not in a long time.
And you said if monogamy starts driving you a little crazy,
yes,
you're gonna go to
spinning. So if that sweater is really ticking me off or whatever, I'm gonna go to another hobby. And it might have to be if it's too crazy for me to knit on the bus and I want to move to those socks, nuh-uh. I am going to read a book or do something else on the bus. So I'm either going to be dragging my 5 skein stripy sweater onto the bus, or I'm going to get a lot of reading done that few weeks.
Yes. I have had Susan, Rista1313, is going to be my polygamy mentor.
Okay.
And she has okayed my list of things, although she says it's a little sweater heavy. She said that I should drop one of the sweaters and add a few smaller things. So I don't know. But then I watched Emily, who Fancy Pants of What Just Watching podcast today, and she was talking about this, and it was so funny. The way she described it, it was like, what's the television show where you can't say the actual word, but you can describe everything about it?
Password?
Password's where you can say one word.
Oh.
And then the next person can say one word, and then they go back and forth. It's like $100 pyramid or $1,000 pyramid.
Oh,
or
yeah, $25,000 pyramid.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, the money value is obviously lost on me. But she's like, there's this really cool picture, and it's a red, really cable-y sweater, and the girl's jumping, and I was like, that's Beatnik! And I've had that in my queue for forever. So that's probably going to get cast on in the November, December timeframe, but I can totally do it since I'm casting on all the things.
You know, and I went out and looked at that sweater, and I only have one yarn in my stash that would work for it because it's so cable heavy. There's a lot of yardage that has to be done. You know, like most of my quantities end at about 1,000 or 1,200. I think I'm going to need at least 1,400 for my size in that. And so I'm like, oh, I only have one yarn that is enough yarn to do that. So I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want
Plus, there's so many things you'd have to finish before you cast.
Well, I know. I wouldn't be able to cast on with you guys. I have to stay in my brand of crazy.
Yes, your brand of crazy.
Because my brand of crazy, I mean, really, when I think about it, having, you know, working my way to 0, I have only ever gotten to like 4, I think. And then I've cast on like 3 things. You know, like it gets down to like 3 or 4 and it explodes again. So I don't think I've ever gotten that close to 0. So with the monogamy and only having 4 things, now 2 of them are sweaters, and one of them is an enormous shawl. That one's gonna be stabbing eye worthy. The reason shawls don't get done for a long time for me is because I get to those, you know, how many ever, like 500 stitch rows, and I go batty. So
cat made a noise. Made Max.
But I think a lot of the patterns that I have in the works are actually quite easy, so I'm a little concerned that, you know, the stockinette zombie will set in and, you know, it'll feel like drudgery. But I have the spinning, and I figure win-lose on this is that if it's really bugging me, I will get a lot of fiber spun up. So, yay.
Do you want to tell your crazy? What's the craziest thing you've ever done first, or did you want to listen to me blather on for a bit?
I think the craziest thing that seemed quite humorous at the same time, and I don't look back on it with shame. I blush a little bit, but I don't look at it as, you know, like, oh God, I can't believe I did that. It's more of a fun kind of crazy. Is that my roommates in college were very diverse, and my gay roommate, and I won't mention names because I did not, you know, ask him
to protect the innocent.
Yes, protect the innocent. He had entered into Mr. Gay, insert name of city here. Okay, so it's a pageant, and he asked us, the girls that lived with him, to come for support. And his boyfriend was recording it, and his now life partner. So I mean, he's settled down.
The pageant cemented their relationship.
It could be. I don't know. But I just remember he had tried on what he was going to wear at the swimwear at our house, and we were like, oh, that's really cute, because it was like rainbow colored swim trunk looking things, a little shiny. I don't know. So we go, and it's exciting. It's so much fun because it starts with Mrs. Gay, name that city. So it's drag, and it's hilarious. And they have so many great performances, and the male parts of it. I think they only had 3 or 4 contestants in the male side. The Miss had a lot more contestants, but from what I remember of the night. And my roommate gets up there for the swimsuit competition part, and the stage lighting makes whatever he was wearing see-through.
Was that planned?
It could have been planned on his part.
Okay.
But before that moment, he was always the sweet, innocent little boy that I had as a roommate. You know, he wasn't, I don't know, he didn't seem completely out there or bizarre to me. And then, you know, a few months later, he came back from the big city that was nearby, but not a really big city, with a pleather unitard that he modeled for us. And so these things, as I relay them to you, seem crazy to me.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I mean, he was my roommate at the time, and I don't suppose it seemed that crazy, and they were probably more his crazy stories than my crazy stories. I was just a bystander at the time.
Bystander to really craziness.
Yeah, and all of my personal crazy is like probably stuff that people did in high school that I didn't get around till I was 25. You know, it's just like, oh yeah, shmeh, that was me at 16. What are you talking about? And it took me until 25 to do all that nutty, crazy stuff. And I, you know, after hearing Amy Beth's story, I tried to think of something like that, where you just kind of went overboard on something, and it turned out, you know, as a calamity of errors. But I was boring. I didn't do anything that was quite that.
Her story, and again, you have to go watch her podcast to listen to her, because Amy is just a wonderful storyteller. Like, and I don't know if it's just her stories or if like she was in speech growing up and did like the storytelling. There was a event for that you could compete in. But what made me give pause was like, if I were in that situation, I would totally be freaked out that somebody thought like I was burying a dead body in the middle of the woods, right? Yeah. Like that the police were going to come up with their lights on and go, what are you burying in the woods, you know? And but yeah, just a hysterical story. Thank you so very much, Amy Beth, for sharing it. My crazy stories, and Amy, this probably doesn't sound all that crazy to you because you know me, but like our extreme, like, why in the heck did I do that type stories. So the first thing that came to mind when I thought of what is something that I've done that's really crazy is I ran my first marathon 4 months after my second child was born. So I spent my whole maternity leave running around Rochester basically with my, you know, 1 month old, 2 month old, 3 month old in a stroller. And now that I look back at that, I'm like, yeah, it was okay because I wasn't sitting at home on the couch depressed or sad or whatever, but I was like, what the heck was I thinking? That was crazy. That was crazy pants. So then I was like, but that's a very short story, right? Okay, yeah, you ran a marathon 4 months after your baby was born.
It sounds like a humble brag, too.
It kind of does. Kind of does. That's crazy. But to me, that's crazy. So, before I was a knitter, I got married and went on my honeymoon in New Zealand. So I did not get to partake in any of the yarny goodness. That's the warning on this story. Yeah, wah wah. Need to go back to New Zealand. But while in New Zealand, we biked across the South Island, and it was December, so it was spring there, and it just, for lack of a better word, pissed down rain on us the whole time. So there was this triple mountain bypass, and again, this is another extreme, possibly humble brag, but that you could bike up this mountain pass, and there was like cars whizzing by, and then you could ride back down, and you like flew, right? I mean, we had little speedometers, and it was raining so hard I couldn't even see the speedometer. So I haul my butt up the mountain, and then it occurs to me that I'm just going to be flying down this mountainside. I mean, and it's like in the Tour de France, and I'm looking at my TV because that's where we watched Tour de France, where like if you went over the edge you would just die. I mean, there was like no guardrail there to keep me from like whizzing off of this mountain. And so it was like stand at the top of this mountain and hope that like cars didn't kill me on the road, or ride down the mountain on this bike. Riding my brakes as hard as I couldn't feel my hands. Numb because it's cold and raining and my brakes aren't working and there's these warnings about cars, like it's a greater than whatever percent grade, and just flying down this mountain, and I'm just like, I'm gonna die. And it was the craziest thing I've ever done. Like, I seriously thought I was going to die. Just like, and now I don't treat life that callously, I guess, since, I have kids now, but it's just like, wow, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I rode my bike down that mountain in the pouring rain, couldn't feel my hands, couldn't feel the brakes, could have flown off the mountain and died. Got to the end, found a bathroom where I could lock the door and took all of my clothes off and held them underneath a hairdryer to try to get warm. It was just insane. I can't believe I did that. I would never do it again. Never. Ever, ever, ever.
Yeah, I'm going to say that You're Kind of Crazy is borderline stupid.
Yeah, that was really stupid. It was physically, and then that same, I was going to skydive. In that same, in New Zealand, and we got to the airport, wanted to, the whole night before told my husband, my brand new husband, oh, what if I died? Isn't this crazy? I was kind of on the skirts of sometimes people jump out of these planes and they die, and got there and they wouldn't take off because of said rain. So
okay.
I have never skydived, but I signed the dotted line to skydive, just never had the opportunity. And again, now would never do it, right? Have too much to lose, have kids and loved ones that I wouldn't want to put through the having to retell the story of silly Megan who jumped out of a plane and didn't survive it. So those are my two crazy stories. Just crazy pants. But, you do things in life and you look back on them and go, I don't know why I ever did that.
Yeah. And I moved my 16-year-old shenanigans to 25 was the mistake of drinking champagne from a bottle, mm-hmm. and then just all the things that ensue afterward. And I have photographic evidence of that night. Lots of shenanigans. Yes. But yeah, it was, again, I remember those times when you're navigating by the seat of your pants and doing all those things, and it felt exciting, but when you look back on it, you're like, not crazy, it was just, I was trying to go from the point A to point B to see a concert or do something stupid, and yeah, you got lost, but no big huge story that would be oh, that was on that TV show, kind of thing.
Made out with a guy in a restroom once. It was my husband to be, and it was at her bachelorette party in the men's restroom. He didn't come into the women's. I went into the men's.
I'm trying to remember my bachelorette party.
Yeah, I don't think you would remember much of it. Anyway, we should probably get to the knitting.
Were we in the cities?
Yes, we were.
Okay.
Yes, it was at the Irish bar, the Irish pub.
Okay.
That's where our two bachelor and bachelorette parties met up and nefarious activities occurred.
Yeah. Lots of drinks were bought.
Yes.
For us.
Mm-hmm.
That's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
We had a going away party for another girl, and over half of us were married, and we ended up still getting drinks bought for us most of the night. But
do you have any finished objects, madame?
Spinning, sort of.
Okay. Go for
it. Here it is. It's plied, but it's still on the bobbin. So this is it. Turned out thinner than I thought it would be, because when I was spinning it, I was trying to get something a little thicker than this. But yeah, it'll be a nice yarn. I don't know how much it got because it's still sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
and it hasn't been through a bath, so I don't know how much it's going to plump up. But this is the SSK colorway from Moonshine Fiber Company, and I do like it. It's spun up very nice, and I put the boho Knitter Chick on the wheel. That's spinning up slightly thicker than this, obviously. And
which one did you do? The sparkly one or the?
I started with the plain.
Okay.
Because I wanted to do 2 ounces of the plain, and then go to sparkly, and then go back to plain, and hope to get a 3-ply. But if I ended up with a 2-ply and some extra fiber, I was okay with that. So that was the plan. But yeah, I haven't gotten very far on that at all. So I would almost need to spin instead of knit at night all this week, and then the entire weekend to get it done in time for their contest. So I don't think I'm going to do that. But it was, you know, it helped me choose my next fiber. So I'm okay with that. You know, put it on right away and let her rip. And it is spinning a lot thicker, so I'm enjoying that. And since I'm making it a 3-ply, hopefully it'll end up at a worsted. And hopefully not a bulky. I don't want to go to the next step up, hopefully. Yeah. But if it ends up being really thick, the first 2 singles end up being really thick, maybe I'll just ply them and do a 2-ply. And then when I try to go to the 3rd one, I'll just be like, okay, what else do I have in my stash that'll go with this? And try and make a 3-ply again. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for FOs.
Alright.
I was trying really hard to get stuff done, but I did not.
Alright, so last week you saw, and I believe I can put in direct quotes here. Amy looked at the yarn before I had ever cast it on, and she said something along the lines of, "This looks like it might pill." And let's just say it felt it. In cold water, lightly agitated.
Oh God!
Yeah. This is
cold water, lightly agitated.
This, yeah. So sorry,
I thought you had another sweater in that yarn. Oh, okay.
Nope. I had some of fingering. My Rocky Coast cardigan is out of the fingering from this same Berlini through Namai.com.
Okay.
But it's a totally different base, right?
Okay.
So yeah. There was no hope of me blocking this within an inch of its life. You can't even see the purl stitches anymore. So, you know. Yeah. But if you've been out on Plurk or seen any of my finished object photos, my daughter absolutely loves it. I opted not to do any cabling on the arms because I knew it would felt within an inch of its life. And it also helped that I knew that it was going to be much smaller, because then the arms went really quick, right? Really small. So yeah, fits my daughter like a glove. Fits it like it's supposed to fit people, and she loves it. I think she wants me to put possibly a button on it, but you know, because little girls don't have like swingy things. Well, yeah, they do, I guess.
Yeah, I was just like, I saw it and I thought, oh, that would look very, it would go down to her son's if she put a zipper in it.
Yep.
Like, I thought it looked very, like, it could be boyish, but it depends on where it hits them, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of long. Too long. So yes, Amy's
it looks
assessment,
so tiny.
yes, and assessment of the yarn was correct. But it was...
It's still very soft, though.
It is. It's really soft.
It's like a lovely blanket.
Yes. But she loves it, and that's what matters. And I believe it was Miss Bonnie out on Ravelry said maybe it was just meant to be hers all along.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that to be true. It was meant to be hers all along. I also
totally fit.
It does, and she loves it, and she's excited about it. Like, if I had been knitting it for her the whole time, I don't think that she would have given a rat's patootie. But since it was supposed to be mine, and it's made out of this yarn and whatever, she's just all about it, right? I got mommies. I also have my finished object. I did not stop for Sock the Vote. I just continued on. I was having a hard time setting it down and picking it back up, which I know I'm going to have to get used to. But with designing, it's hard to remember where you were at. So those are my crazy, crazy is an overused word in this podcast. These are my V's going up the foot. I don't know that I'll be writing this up anytime soon. I may, but it's very nice yarn. I've got a significant amount left, so I can possibly make something else. I don't know what, but satisfying knit. Can only blame the designer if I didn't enjoy it. So.
Yes, well said.
Yes. And then I've got another design that I've been working on, and I don't know that I am ready to talk about the backstory. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
But the design is called For Good, and it's in my sister's memory. There's some story and some details, and we'll get to that in November, which is my sister's birthday at the end of November. So we'll talk about it then. But for now, I've got 2 finished objects. This is, I forgot I put ponytails in my hair. It's probably not going to fit real well. Where are the buttons? Of course I didn't put them in the right place. But it's, you can see my little pigtails.
Yep.
Poking out. But it is a neat little weaved kind of pattern. It works on both sides until you put the buttons on, and then it doesn't. And this one's out of Knit Picks Stroll, I believe. Now I probably got hair sticking up all crazy way. In the Gypsy colorway. I think it's their kettle dyed. I can't remember, but it's fingering held double. I recently came to the conclusion that all these single skeins in my stash don't have to be socks, and they don't have to be shawls. Like, I can hold them double and I can make something like that is okay worsted, right? And I know that there are fingering weight versions of hats and cowls and stuff, but they go forever, right? I mean, if you hold it double, you get the same warmth as a worsted, like, you know, it's bulkier and it goes a lot quicker. So for warm or for cold weather items where you want to be warm, I'm thinking that I'm going to do that more often. And these are the the beautiful buttons that we heard about on Fat Squirrel Speaks. And these are hickory. And the shagbark hickory was my sister's favorite tree. So this one has buttons on it, and on the nice little button tab there. And if I don't say so myself, nice little button tab. And this is out of, I got it at, where did I get it at? I got it at Knitter's Palette at our first meetup. And it's out of Ultra Alpaca Fine in the Pea Soup colorway, otherwise known as 1275. I think Knitter's Palette put Pea Soup on there. And it's alpaca Peruvian wool from Peruvia. 50%, 20% superfine alpaca, and 30% nylon.
From Peruvia?
Because it's Peruvian. That makes it fancier. Don't you remember? I've told you that before. And so yeah, I kind of like how the pattern is kind of like a knit stitch, and it also kind of looks like a, I don't know, a tree, a forest, a pine cone, something to me. I like thermals also for,
okay.
It's, you know, it's reversible. Anyway, more news forthcoming, but I have 2 of those, so I couldn't resist talking a little bit about it. And that's, you know, my 4 FOs.
I spun a yarn that's got to be at least 450 yards. That feels like quite an accomplishment. But I will talk about my whips real quick.
You go for it, girl.
Yes, I will.
I've given you permission now.
So my abalone has grown quite a bit.
Yes.
It's huge. Oh no, it's not that bad. But sorry, it's just like it's like a lot of fabric.
When I'm holding it at home, it doesn't seem so bad, but on camera, it's like the camera added 10 pounds to this thing.
It sure did.
Okay. Sorry.
So, I was below where the armhole split happened by at least a couple inches before I went on my car trip. And so I got through all of that, seaming it up, and through the entire garter stitch band. But I didn't do the applied I-cord bind off. So as soon as I get started on that, this
do it very loosely,
really close. Yeah, and I was gonna like switch needles
because I did it as loosely as I could without it looking all sloppy, and it is still tight on mine. So
okay,
yeah, going up a needle size might solve that problem. I really like the way the colors are knitting up on that.
Yeah,
so pretty. And you did alternate skeins, right?
I did.
Yes.
It was 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Because back
and forth.
1, 2, 2. Yeah. So, and then I also did the 3 needle bind off because, I just thought like, yeah, it's nice when it's not all loosey goosey up there and it's a nice seam.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I need to put the sleeves on, but those seem like they're going to be lickety split.
Mm-hmm. Did you have concerns about yardage? Is that why you're doing the collar?
No, I just wanted to do that first. Sometimes when you're in the car, you're like, I'd rather do that. Just a big one around rather than putzing with the little bands first. But I have tons of yarn left.
Says the toy knitter.
It's different.
I hate putzing with the small armband.
Car knitting to me is different. I really need to have something that's massive / mindless. So I have lots of yarn left. Look at that.
Yeah, you do.
Tons. So I could like make really long sleeves or whatever. I'm not sure I like the looks of
for good
added sleeves. So I might just do for good.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably a good for good. And look at how beautifully it works up. So
I know,
it could be a very beautiful for good. And interesting. I mean, I've liked the pattern so far. Mm-hmm. There's nothing to be said. I just think that like, oh, look at all the car knitting I got done.
Yes, I would be proud.
And I really, at the end of that car trip, I got to that applied bind off and I couldn't remember how to do it. And I was like, without internet, well, I guess I could have used my phone, but I didn't feel like it. And then, and there was like 45 minutes left. So I just kind of went, what am I going to do? So I started working on these again. And I have put in just now the extra for afterthought heel right there, which is not an afterthought when you're putting it in before, but whatever. Putting it in for the heel right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to go up to finish that. I don't know how many stripes, but it is fun because I just count the stripes and then I know where.
And that's your second one.
Yep.
Second double.
Yep. Second one. Again, I apparently like this month being, our birthday month and all that, I have had no patience for participating in cowls when it comes to submitting my actual work.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, I'm doing it, see? Mm-hmm. And submit my podcast for evidence.
Yeah.
But, going out to the threads and posting, I haven't done that. So, I may go into that boho whatever one and post like I tried.
Yeah.
Look, I put some singles on a bobbin. But, I'm excited. I'm not too far from, let's see, 1, 2.
Should count them like, the count style.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 more stripes until I start doing the end work. So that's pretty cool. And I have one down
unbiasing
already. So yes, the unbiasing, yes. Which is...
Oh,
yep.
go ahead.
No, it worked out well on this sock. So I don't know how far. Yeah, I got this done last time, so and now I have another half.
My mofo has got some eyes.
Okay.
So,
yep.
And my daughter has confiscated that, and he is now named Ulf. Ulf the Weeb.
That's a great name.
Yes, it is. And she loves him, and she sleeps with him. He watches over her at night. And then I just cast this on. The wonderful Rista 1313 gave me the Low Tide, which I'm just getting caught up on.
I just bought that whole book.
Oh.
Well, I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
But it's got a lot of different sizes. So you may have already seen this on other podcasts, but it's a sleeveless kind of vest type cardigan that buttons up in the front and has from sizes 12 months to 4 extra large adult.
Yeah, and a lot of the patterns in the book are that way.
Yep, it's really nice. It's Emily Wessel, I believe, which is I believe her shop is Tin Can Knits.
And I think Tin Can Knits for this from Pacific Knits, the book ebook is 2 people.
Okay. Yeah, it's Alexa Ludeman and Emily Wessel.
Yes. So
again, I'm probably butchering those, but again, I can only pronounce a certain number of words right. And so this is, let me see, I was just looking at this, the bias, it goes up this way, and here's that, and this is where you pick up and start knitting that way.
I see.
Yep, and this is out of my Richness of Martins. The Alicia Goes Around. I want to say Alicia Goes Round, but it's around. Oh. And it's in the Mark Antony colorway. I will not be getting the Luby U 4th quarter challenge because I am not holding it double. But I'm okay with that. And it's in the lovely Rista 1313's bag. So I love this red. I love the inside. Cool. I open it up and it's like pop, pop, pop. I gotta get my pop in. I say it once every. And then I had the little measuring guy in here.
Oh, just one lonely thing in it.
It's this little bag. Oh, I have 2 measuring things. 2 measuring things.
You know, I don't know why this popped into my head, but my daughter has been singing the commercial for American National University. Do you know that one?
Mm-mm.
It's like, set yourself free, get your degree. National American University. and I'm like, that, whatever it is, college, I don't know, university, sounds like it was named by somebody who was not an English speaker.
Yeah.
It's National American University. It's very, like...
Don't know. It kind of seems like double National American. But whatever.
But it's so funny because she had that stuck in her head. She just kept singing it over and over.
My husband actually took a video with his phone the other day of our kids dancing to that iPod commercial with the hey, 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 how you like me now?
Yes.
No, 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 no. Yeah, so anyway, that's our little commercial tangent there. Speaking of Rista 1313, she is donating a Crazy Squirrel bag to our Crazy Zombie Squirrel.
Yay!
KAL. And then Kiki of Yarn vs. Zombies is coming up with a crazy self-striping that she is going to donate for a giveaway for our Crazy Squirrel KAL. Woo-hoo. So ask and you shall receive. Last week I said that Amy Beth has very generous donors and that we would like to match it. And voila, we have very generous donors at our fingertips.
Yes.
So
that sounds very cool.
Yes, and I want to, oh God, we've got a lot to talk about. We've already 42 minutes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm done. That's it.
Yep, whip.
You did this.
Whip. We whip the whips.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm good.
Enabling.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. I have my...
Oh, you probably see right down my shirt.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll get some new viewers. Bag that I bought because it's got pears and apples on it. And so if every update of Girl Cave bags you see an apple bag, it is because Susan is trying to tempt me into buying more and more baggage. But I will now be using them.
Cute.
Yes. So here is, do you want to hold this, or you're opening? My Hobby Craft. I told myself I should quit buying yarn, and so instead I bought pottery that looks like yarn. And this is the messy skein, and that is the neat skein. And I contacted Lorena and asked her, because this mother of three needs a little more go-go juice in the morning than these can provide, and she said that currently she doesn't have any larger yarn skein cups cast, like the mold or whatever. So this one is green and that one is teal. I have written on the back of something I thought we were going to cover earlier but have not yet covered. Haldycraft.com. I believe there's it's in here somewhere. Haldycraft.com. Yep. I contacted her on your guys' behalf, and she provided till the end of December a coupon code for 10% off. So Zombie10 gets you 10% off at haldycraft.com. You can buy something cute like this. Amy was looking at a large mug for oatmeal.
Yes.
And it's good until after Christmas season, because my bag lady, Rista1313, informed me that Christmas is coming.
I'm in denial.
She's buying Christmas fabric, so
okay.
Christmas is coming. So if you like these, she's got these available, 10% off. Haldycraft.com.
Was there other stuff you wanted to talk about?
Just what you gave me.
The mystery package that I'm opening. You can open your mystery package while I'm opening this.
Oh, that's right. The wonderful Woolly Love.
Dancing Dog Dye Works, if you don't know.
Yes, sent me a Love My Zombie Girls, Megan. Don't know what it is, Michelle. We got all kinds of package surprises. They wanted to make sure that there was...
Yes. Apparently Josh is very thorough with the tape.
I'm very thorough with the tape, too. I've received anything.
You're a kindred spirits, then.
Ooh, Stalking the Zombies. And this is the Sporty Sport weight. Sporty Sport weight. Sporty Sport. Like a cowl or a hat.
Okay.
Thank you, Michelle.
So, I watched Sort of a Knitter this week. And got a little hint about what might be in this box, because he had dyed up and had a very funny story about going to the store for 50 packets of Kool-Aid. 50 packets of Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I think I might look at somebody a little funny if they came in for 50 packets of Kool-Aid.
So, but it had instructions not until film is rolling. So,
we don't record on film. There's this thing called digital, Josh.
Okay, I gotta rip this open. I
hope there's not like a manifesto in there where we'll have to. And then also, Sock Bunny Knit and Fit sent along with an order from her a button and some candy. Yep, so I thought I'd mention.
Yeah, I get Josh. What were you thinking? I want the yarn. So what had happened is he was out on Plurk mentioning that he had dyed up something for his friends. You know, and everybody asks him if he wants to do it professionally, and he says, no, I just want to do it for my friends. So I said, I happen to have some bear yarn that you can dye up for me. And he jumped at the chance and turned it around in like no time at all.
You bought some naked yarn?
Well, I had went into a cone purchase with a friend many moons ago, and then just never did anything. Oh my God, the read me first is way too long, Josh. Way too long. 3 pages. written. I'm sorry, I can't read me first.
Those are gorgeous.
Although it does start out, Dearest Amy and Megan, hello, hello, hello. I hope this finds you both well, and that this box of goodie blows your mind, because I bet it does.
It does. That is beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
So you guys can't see it.
Okay, so
without further ado, I present, drum roll, apt right here. The essence of blueberry is blue.
Maybe?
It's a bright, lovely blue into a deep purple.
Yep.
Ooh, wow. That is beautiful, Josh.
So what we're going to do with these, as we pull them out, Megan and I will decide which ones are lovely and our favorites and we must have. And then the other 3 will be eventual future prizes for you guys. Or at least that's what I've decided to do with it.
No, it is your berry yarn, right?
Yeah. And then the next one says
Fairy Fairy Forest for Fortunate Fools.
Green to blue to purple. No, green to blue to purple. Fair Fairy Forest for Fortunate Fools. Say that 5 times fast.
So pretty.
And then Royal Observations yields great, brilliant, intelligent variables.
Or if you prefer, Roy G. Viv.
Is one. It is the rainbow one. This one?
Yeah, I would think so. If you haven't figured it out.
Oh, so Megan, for you, I give this one to you. If you pick me, do not bleed green. So this one is yours. For Amy,
this one, Josh.
You did it. No, so these are for you guys. So I'm gonna hold them up again. These are for you guys. Cute. And then the last one is Supernova Indeed. Amy wants now.
White, yellow, orange to red to purple.
Very
they
cool.
were dyed using Kool-Aid and food gels and will be a little fruity and vinegary. But rest assured, see, we're almost on the 3rd page, Josh.
Okay.
You write very well. The smell will fade and not be permanent. All the skeins have 1 knot or 2 due to his crafting process, to the yarn's crafting process.
Yes.
Cool.
Only 1 ply broke and unraveled a bit. Another thing, the colors I tried to set to my full knowledge, but be prepared.
Yes.
The rainbow.
These are lovely, Josh. I agree with your friends. You need to do this professionally. I don't know much about Kool-Aid dyeing, but these are very,
Till next time, Josh.
He is Josh of Sort of a Knitter.
Yes.
If you are not aware, he has a podcast and he is out of the Twin Cities. Is he coming to our retreat?
I don't know. He probably has to work. Poor boy. He works all the time.
Yeah. Bootimus.
So, cool.
Yeah. Very cool. I want to see a making of video, Josh.
Yeah.
This would be very cool to see.
Yeah, they are crazy gradients. I mean, there are a lot of colors in here, even though it might look like, oh, that's mostly green. Well, there's like 10 shades of green.
Yeah. Be interesting to see how it knits up. If it just goes gradually from one to the other, or if it just goes,
I don't know,
blocks. Either way, excited. Very visually stunning. Yes. And this is just 100% merino?
I do not remember. It was mystery yarn. Well, as far as me knowing what I sent him, maybe I can dig out an old internet receipt from Gmail. But I purchased it from Paradise Fibers.
Okay.
Many moons ago. And I only used a little bit in a shawl. And then sent the rest off to Josh many moons later. But yes, very exciting. Thank you, Josh. And I have a million other things to get to. So we don't want this episode to go on and on. So I'll let Megan fondle that stuff while I get out the rest of my purchases.
Okay. Do you want me to talk while you're doing it? I have a packing list for this weekend.
Yes.
For our retreat. Knitting. Duh. Recent FOs to show off. This was obvious to me, but last time we had a meet up, people were like, oh, I should have brought that. Bring it. I want to see your FOs. We're going to do a share.
Yeah, and if you have one that you're like, you must bring that because I must see it in person, you must contact us.
Yeah, because we don't have, as much as we try to be like, into your brains, doesn't always work.
Yep.
D-stash, yarn bags, miscellaneous, to sellers, swap. We're going to do it. It's going to be fun.
Yep. We can drag random, shoppers, passerbys that know nothing of the stock and knit zombies and just be like, hey, you want to buy this or trade?
Yeah. Woohoo. And there are some actual retailers that will be bringing stuff that you can buy from. Goodies to share. So if you get snacky, whatever. Last but certainly not least, this is a requirement. You have to bring crazy jammy pants and slippers. Bring them. We're going to have a blast. I'm so excited.
Yay!
I don't think I could be any more excited at this point. It's like all weekend watching people with Rhinebeck. It was like, I've got the retreat next weekend. We're going to be okay.
So it seems like most of my mittens that I've ever knit have either gone away to somebody else, so the ones that I was most happiest with, I had to give them away at the end because the intention was to give them away, or they've been epic fails in sizing and whatnot. So I let my mommy sell me some mitties that she made out of recycled sweaters that she felted.
Cool.
And I liked these in particular. A little bit of Fair Isle detail and brown, hands.
Look warm.
Yes, and they're fleece lined. And I think she says when she goes and sells them at shows, she sells them for $20. So, if you think they look interesting and you don't care to knit yourself some, they're very warm and I enjoy them very much. And they are wool, felted wool on the outside and fleece, polar fleece on the inside. And they fit my woman's large hand fairly well. I'm assuming if you had a little bit smaller hand, it might work too. Yeah. And then, and they're not on her Etsy shop or anything like that. You just have to bug her or me to get them out there. Bad retail saleswoman. She does these shows too, right? She's out doing her junk and recycle, upcycle sales. So I got my politically incorrect fibers. This is supposedly a one-night stand called Travis. Well, Travis is 5.8 ounces of a merino, silk, and Angelina. And I love. And was it you who said you and I colors?
Yeah, yep.
Because that's what made me buy it, really. Because there was another one I could have picked, but I like this one.
Yep.
And pretty, and it's really big. I got my Into the World fiber. This one is called Bohai. Body.
Bodie. I bet it's Bodie.
Bodie.
Like the Bodie Miller, the skier. Kind of looks like skiing.
It's beautiful. And it is a 50% merino, 50% silk from the Luxe Club. And yeah, I'm having trouble here. So here's my stuff from Dancing Dog Dye Works.
Sporty Sport.
And I was excited to try the Sporty Base. I hadn't tried it before, and I'm in love. I need a sweater's worth of this in something. She's got a steampunk colorway that's kind of this weird brown gray mix, and I love it. So maybe that will need to become a sweater. And of course this will be either some really cushy socks or a cowl or a hat. But I love it. Love it. Love the base. Love the base.
Love the face.
Yes,
love the base. Slap at the base.
And then I got some Marigold Jen because, you know,
you have to.
Horrible enabler here.
Because
horrible.
You just have to.
Yes, I did. I just had to. So, Jenny Porter. This is Papa Smurf. And Pillage. And I couldn't, I mean, I don't think this is a self-striping. But this one's BFL, and this one's just 100% merino. But beautiful. And, yeah, these are going to make some crazy socks. And then, because my tastes have been running really dark lately, as a note from this, I decided to pick up something light and refreshing from Sock Bunny Studios. Twisty, this is a BFL as well. And it is in the Pocahontas colorway.
Cool.
Boop, boop. But yeah, it's very, and this is Kimberly from the Sock Bunny Knit and Fit.
Yeah.
Oh, and it says right there, read.
Read.
I knew that.
Read, Amy.
I didn't have to read that. I knew that. And so I do love this. This is just, it's got a tan and a brown and then this really pretty aqua and, you know, light, almost white, but not quite white. And it's really pretty. And apparently you have convinced me that BFL is the new fiber trend. Yeah? Fiber buying trend, anyway.
I'm gonna start a new thing.
And that's it for that, except that my family went to this Halloween family night out thing at the zoo while we were in Iowa. And when you got done at the end, the gift shop was 50% off.
Wow.
Like anything you wanted. Like they had books, they had stuffies, they had activity kits, they had anything you wanted, 50% off. So, in honor of our crazy KAL,
you got some squirrels.
I got some squirrels. So this one's yours.
Oh, I can't.
The redhead is for Amy. I'm going to decorate him and you will get him at the end. So he will get craziness added to him and then he will be sent your way. Or they're all girls. I don't know. Whatever. They're representing us, right? So I will
separate.
Well, mine were clipped already. I don't know. You know, you're going through the bin and you're picking up your squirrel.
Mine kind of looks like he's doing a namaste.
Yeah, they were intended to have their little paws together, but I think mine got clipped.
Like
but it looked cute. Yeah. Either way. Boop, 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 boop.
Mine was going in for a kiss. It was not.
Mine said back up.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, squirrels.
Yay.
Crazy pants, squirrels. Squirrel.
It's on the brain.
Squirrel.
Yeah, because I ordered some fabric that had squirrels on it too.
Squirrel, squirrel. So, I thought that would kick off our KAL nicely. I have my little squirrelies. And
can you tell we're excited about it? I mean, it's not even November yet. And I'm like, yay!
I don't know. I don't have any kick it to the crazy, but if you have squirrels on the brain, as I think you tend to, Amy Beth, let us know. And we will kick it to the crazy next time. Absolutely.
Yep.
So, bye!
Bye, Uvda.